I always remember the first visit to the circus animal show when I was a child. It was one afternoon in the 90s. I arrived at a damp second-floor room in the heart of Old Town, where giant snakes, turtles, and lizards were curled up motionless and unaware in dirty, cramped, artificially landscaped glass tanks. Looking at their silent bodies, I felt a sense of both strangeness and familiarity. Years later, I realized why I always remember this encounter with non-humans and what this ambivalent sense that lingered in my mind really meant. The glass tanks with artificial landscapes and animals were not only a microcosm of my hometown Changshu in the 90s, a small city in the Yangtze River Delta, but also a projection of human desires and a metaphor for China's reform era. In 2019, the Hong Kong protests broke out. I was impressed by the self-destructive tendencies shown by the protesters. I began to think about how this mentality, common in post-Cold War resistance movements, arose. Then, my childhood experience of encountering non-humans reminded me of the connection between the life cycle of insects and self-destructive revolution. Why is self-destruction necessarily negative? Are we limiting its meaning? Can we speculate another ontology, one based on oviparity and holometabolism, to think about these questions? Taking these into account, I made a video work to Look is to Die, fictionalizing a revolutionary group that identifies themselves as insects. The encounter with non-humans also turned me towards a rethinking of anthropocentrism. But I found it difficult to apply the dominant discourse in European and American environmental philosophy to East Asia. For example, the ambiguous geographic hierarchy plays a more crucial role in forming anthropocentrism in traditional Chinese thought than the clear division between humans and non-humans by so-called intrinsic values. This led me to research the relationship between land and water as a continuation of the rethinking of anthropocentrism. And I initiated my current project, Another Aquatic Future, which examines how terrestrial standards rule over waters, weaving hierarchies of humans and non-humans and leading to a series of problems. In this project, I also aim to explore what role art can play in imagining new relationships between land, water, humans, and non-humans.